The area is so
Big
nice.
lots.
And views.
Retail.
Unit Lot Subdivision.
I'm here with Logan Molir. Logan, one of the things I love about you is that you're not just a real estate agent, you're also a structural engineer, and you bring this eye to the code that I don't have, a lot of investors don't have. How many projects are you involved in right now, Logan?
I get to help out on 7 development projects right now with a mix of ADUs and a mix of Unit Lot Subdivision.
So I'd imagine with 7 projects that you're helping out with, you're getting eyes on a lot of different opportunities, you're getting eyes on a lot of different strategies. With the new One Seattle code, Logan, what's one thing that you've found or that you've researched that's been surprising?
Quick aside, coming to an event like this, I actually met the person who I'm helping with these projects and get the opportunity to learn any of these surprises at all. So I'm very grateful for you and your event, and that I get to be part of the team.
If you're watching on YouTube and you're not sitting right behind me at the House Hack Seattle Happy Hour, Google Meetup House Hack Seattle Happy Hour and it'll come up. We would love to see you here next time. You can photobomb us.
On 2 of those 7 projects, we're targeting Unit Lot Subdivision, or ULS. And one of the reasons that we chose to do ULS over a condoized ADU build is that we were under the impression we could get away from an HOA.
I was under that impression too.
Yeah, but the change that I just found today from talking with attorney Randy Boyle is that a Unit Lot Subdivision does not get you out of doing an HOA.
Yes.
Ah!
This is the primary selling point that people have been saying is available to Unit Lot Subdivisions is no HOA.
That's
so
right.
It's not true.
Okay, so this is up to your attorney to interpret. This attorney has spoken with other attorneys though that have been doing Unit Lot Subdivision, subdivisions, and condos for many, many years. I'm gonna read from a website because I just learned about it today, so I can't speak about it off the top of my head.
Let's do it. We're gonna link this article in the description, so if you wanna read along, go click in the description.
Yeah, this is from Ryan Swanson, lawyers since 1897.
Was
So
Ryan Swanson specifically a lawyer since 1897, or is his
no idea.
firm a lawyer since 1897?
I hope not. In 2024, Governor Jay Inslee recently signed into law a gross substitute Senate Bill 5796, which will significantly change the creation and governance of all homeowners associations and common interest communities moving forward. And most of that act went into effect June of last year, June 6th of last year. How does this affect us today? And how does it affect investors who are buying right now, who are targeting that ULS? According to Randy, this removes the exemption, actually completely eliminates an RCW that had an exemption for subdivisions that had less than 6 units to avoid completely an HOA.
So the exemption that allowed us to, on a single family ADU DADU or on a 4-plex, to skip the HOA entirely on a Unit Lot Subdivision, that's gone. That 6-unit exception no longer applies.
That's right.
So if you're trying to decide between doing a condoization, the traditional route to building these additional units, or doing a Unit Lot Subdivision, Logan, how do you make that decision today?
I would look at comparables for different sized units. If the build cost for an ADU and the exit price for that square footage the spread is greater than for the higher square footage lots, you don't need to build the higher square footage lots. So you can just do the ADU. It's going to be faster because you're just doing a condominium with the HOA, and you don't have to go through the whole ULS process.
So it seems like the measuring stick I should be using is, if I want to build big, I should go with ULS. If I want to move fast and build small, I should go with a condo. Does that sound about right?
That's right. One more reason not to do ULS is you do get opened up to street improvements, which can be massive surprise costs. Let's say with Seattle City Light making you upgrade a transformer, or running underground power from
sidewalks. These are
sidewalks,
all, anything.
alley improvement,
Oh my gosh.
stormwater,
Look at all these beautiful people.
a great sunset.
Yeah. It's been an hour and 17 minutes since we shot the last video, and we do have a revision. Logan, what did we learn?
Well, this Senate bill only applies to common interest communities. So that means something that, shares a driveway, has an access easement or a joint maintenance agreement, say like a shared fence, or let's say a shared wall where what if they need to replace the roof together? So even something with CC&Rs. That's a common interest community that needs an HOA. So if you can think of a ULS situation where you don't have a common interest community, you can still get out of the HOA. I'm gonna have to think about that and I'll let you know.
So there is an exception to the removed exception,
That's right.
but it's not a very good one. Drop in the comments if you can think of a non-common interest community, and we'll update this video probably in another hour and 17 minutes when we find out something new.
And talk to your lawyer.
I'm here with William Thing. We're talking about the One Seattle plan, William, and I know you're moving and shaking. You've got projects in the works. One thing I've always admired about you is how you run financials on these projects. Tell me about something you're working on and something that might have surprised you about the financials under the new One Seattle plan.
Yeah, that's an awesome question, Michael, and I appreciate that compliment. So I just bought a deal a couple months ago, and it looks really good on paper. You can build 2 units and keep the existing house. You always want to keep the existing house and never tear it down unless you have a really big project. And now with the new One Seattle plan, this plot of land we're able to build 6 units on it. And
why can you do 6?
Yeah, it's 6 because that house and that plot of land is really close to a rapid ride. So looking at the numbers, looking at 6 units compared to 2 units, right? That's way more lucrative.
Yeah.
And I talked to my architect. They're like, yeah, let's do it. Let's tear it down. Let's do 6 units. And as we got into the weeds, I had to relook at my numbers again because, again, keeping the house usually is better. And instead of like the maximum 2 units from the old code, why don't we do 4 units, which is the max, by keeping the existing house? When we ran the numbers for that, it was a 20% profit margin instead of building 6 new units and tearing down the old one, which would be a 14% profit margin deal, which is kind of crazy, right? And you would think like, going bigger is not always better. And that's when we realized, wow, like we almost made a really bad mistake.
Yeah.
And if you guys are listening to this, this is gold right here, guys. Developing is not always easy. It's always about capital preservation. Like you want to put as little money in as well as maximizing your area.
How much of this is timeline too, William?
Yeah.
Like, how did you move a lot faster by not demolishing the single family home?
Yes, 100%. Sometimes when you do brand new and you tear it down, it's going to take a lot longer to get permits. Could be a couple months, like it just depends on who's reviewing it. But usually if you keep the existing, keep the utilities how it is, it usually is a faster process. Yeah.
Well, thanks for sharing that with us
Yeah.
so we can learn from.
Yeah.
It sounds like you're narrow missed the
Yeah,
mistake,
right?
but you
Yeah.
caught it just in time.
Yeah.
You can't untear down a house. So
Yeah.
I'm glad that you realized
That's
that
true.
before you got there.
I appreciate this.
Appreciate it,
That's
man.
sweet. I love this YouTube.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Smash that button.